Hello, James.
Hello.
Oh dear.
No,
You're
sorry,
all right.
that was no. It's because I just realised my microphone was not in the right place, so I picked it up and I spoke into it while it was in my hand.
But also, you sounded like you were an 80-year-old smoker.
Really, well, hello.
Hello. Hello, David. How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I had a bit of a problem this week.
Well, what's happened?
Joe's free but we actually had like 6 months free Disney Plus run out this week.
Oh no!
So I thought, well, it's no problem. It's only £8 a month, isn't it? And considering how many fucking films I'm going to be watching, that's no problem.
Do you know, it's annoying because mine renewed the other day, and I didn't realise how much it had increased in price. Because
how much was it when you?
We see when I first got it, it was £50 for the year, which I was like, "That's brilliant. That's really good. Really good." But then that was obviously an introductory offer, and it was I think £80 this time. So that's quite a big.
Oh, you pay yearly, do you? The money bags.
Yeah, just pay it off. You know, it's
just pay it off. That's the way I live my life. Well, the problem I had was Joe's logged into the telly version of the app, so I need to sort that out, log her out of it, because I was logged into the Xbox version of the app, and just as I booted it up and was about to start the film, I thought, oh no, I can't, can I? Because literally it broadcasts what you're doing to everyone that's got an Xbox.
Yes, it's true, yeah.
And this is supposed to be a secret, James.
Does it actually say what you're watching?
No, but it does say Disney Plus. It's going to get a bit weird if every Friday night Matt or someone notices that I'm watching Disney Plus. You know, Dave, what are you? What are you?
Just
really...
say you're watching Pixar films again.
The Pixar stuff again, mate.
Yeah,
I'm going through the Pixar stuff again.
Yeah.
So, I had to make myself appear offline. Yeah. And then remember to undo that later. But I think I'm going to have to sort it out. So I'm logged in the right place now, because I can't have people knowing what I'm doing. I hate that. Why do so many programs want to tell everyone what you're doing on them?
It's that broadcasting stuff, and it's weird. And it's like, you know how, like, where PlayStation did that thing with Discord, where it was like, oh, you can link up your things so people can see what it is. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I want people to see what I'm doing.
People,
like, why, you know.
David's doing this. All right, you fucking grass.
Great.
Well, last night we sat down, James, and we saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, man, I watched it as well. I watched it last night. I watched it last night, and then I didn't finish it, but then I finished it off this morning. And,
that's funny, because I watched a lot of it again this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it all last night, and then we watched bits again this week. Me and Harry watched bits again this morning, which sort of gives you an indication of where I'm going with this.
Man,
but
can I just say, though, to begin with, that intro hits hard.
Okay, right. So there is one person that knows we're doing this, and that's my close friend John Denton, because it was getting weird, like him saying, "Are you coming online?" "No, I'm just finishing a film." "What film?" "Doesn't matter." So seeing as I talk to him pretty much every night, he's promised to keep it a secret. Yeah. He knows that I am watching the Marvel films.
Has he heard any of these?
No.
Okay.
No. And then he texted me yesterday saying, "You're watching Guardians tonight, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I warn you, it is very, very dark, the start of this film.
It is.
And you should probably skip it." So...
No.
just not let Harry see the start of it, is what he's saying. So I spoke to Jo about it, and she sort of said, "No, I think that would be okay. He's seen stuff like that before." And to be fair, he was brilliant. Like, didn't get upset by it at all, but he did spend a lot of time laughing at the fact that I was crying.
It was really. The link that it has with the end of the film as well. I teared up at the end, actually.
So this is it. Yeah. So I've put opening on Earth in 1988. God, I'm so pumped. Young Star-Lord in hospital. Heartbreaking opening scene. Mum dying. Gives him a present to open once she's gone.
And also just the fucking music as well, like that they use, was so good.
Yeah. I put, oh my God, actual tears. That's the first time in this series of films that I've been brought to tears, and boy, did I blub.
Yeah.
So well. I mean, look, some people could argue that it's a bit of manipulation there, isn't there? And if you're going to go for manipulation, then watching your mum die of cancer in the state she was in right there in front of a child is pretty manipulative, but I think they've done it very well.
I think they did it really well, and also it's perfect, and it's essential for the story as well. Like it really is. Like, well,
this is it. I've got a friend that had, like, that's their biggest complaint with films and TV and stuff, is the amount of manipulation involved. You know, all they're doing is trying to manipulate the way you feel, and I'm like, isn't that what films and TV do?
That's what telling a story, right? is.
Yeah,
doing that.
You're supposed to manipulate, and all right, there's cheap ways of doing it, but I think too cheap, and people really do go, what the fuck? Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas here, I thought I thought the whole intro was excellent, and even the fact that a UFO just turns up right at the end of it, like fucking out of nowhere, is fine too. You know, it was
just honestly, it was really upsetting. Just, you know, that whole sort of like hold my hand, and then he's like no, and then that's it, and then he's like no, and then it was just really upsetting.
We've spoken a lot on this subject. You don't cry at films, do you?
No, not generally, but this really upset me, actually. Yeah.
Right? Did you cry?
No, not at this bit, but then at the end, I did actually.
Did you really? What, this morning?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
I didn't know.
I had some tears.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. But you didn't die at any. You didn't die. You didn't cry at any of the Pixar films.
No.
They were harsher than this, mate.
No, I know, but I don't know what it is. It's no, because there was also the ending of this film, which we will get to, has a combination of two things which always really upset me, or not upset me, that always really touched me. You know, it's like, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I don't get that from those, but in the same way. But this, there's, as I said, when we get to it, I'll explain why. It's
okay, all right. So that whole opening was brilliant, and then it's followed up by I put also. It's interesting to see the differences between this and the game, right? Because we know, like, we've spoken about the game a lot, because it's what sort of spurred me to go and do this. And I thought it was great how different it was to the game, which obviously is a stupid thing to say, because it's really how different the game is to the film, and how different the film is to the comic books. I've not read the comic books, but like, to go in a completely different direction with so many main points, it really shows that the core, that like, for them to do so many different things and for it all to work really shows how good the core sort of idea behind Guardians of the Galaxy is, right?
Yeah. I mean, especially like Peter Quill as well. Like, it's a different take, and the game, I think, had quite a different take on his character as well, which initially I was really put off by, because I'd seen this and I thought Chris Pratt, whatever you think of it, whatever, did a brilliant job in this. I thought he was perfect as Peter Quill. I mean,
I mean, we should say up front, right? We know Chris Pratt, when he's mentioned on the internet, obviously a lot of people dislike him for his personal views and stuff like that.
Obviously not great, you know. It's,
they're not great. They're not nice, but I mean, he was good in this, and I think it's okay to say that, even though he seems to be a piece of shit outside of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was good in this film. Okay, right. Okay, let's move on through the notes. The spaceship turns up. Harry is laughing at me for crying. Yeah, that's what. That's what I bet he really was. Wait, Vin Diesel is Groot.
Yes. Yeah. Vin Diesel was Groot. Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah. He just did the voice. He just did the "I am Groot."
Yeah, and also he said that over 1,000 times, like recording it.
Really? I mean,
which is crazy.
That's nuts, because he doesn't actually say it that much in this film.
Yeah, but also he recorded it also for all the other language versions as well, which I don't know why.
Why they got Vin Diesel to do that? Yeah,
but they did do that because he was like, "I want it to be me," like for all of the language versions.
Vin Diesel is Groot. Yeah. As I said when he walked in. Okay, but we're going to get someone in to come and do the Japanese version. No, Vin Diesel is Groot. No,
Ich bin Groot.
Je m'appelle Groot. No, that doesn't work, does it? That's my name is. Right, okay, but my name is Groot. Like, I mean, again, I'm sorry. I know people will listen to this and they won't have played the game, but in the game, I didn't like Groot because he said it way too often. here doesn't say enough, in my opinion.
No, and also there's a lot more sort of just like facial expressions and stuff as well. Oh
God, his face in. I loved it. We'll get to Groot. We will get to Groot. Bradley Cooper as Rocket. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, but
would not have guessed that.
Rocket is the one that I think is the closest to the game, though.
Okay, we've got to stop talking about the game. I know I've been doing it. I know it's my fault, but we've got to stop talking about it. I feel bad.
It's true, though, isn't it? It's the closest one, I think.
Yes. Exactly the same, basically. Right, 2 songs in, 2 bangers. Dancing About, loving this already. So this is the intro where Peter Quill is dancing around that sort of abandoned place where there's like the odd alien bug that he's just kicking the shit out of as he's just dancing
using
around.
It as a microphone.
Really? What song is it? No, it's not that one. It's shit. What is the opening track in this when he's dancing about? That's going to kill me.
Isn't it Jackson 5?
No, that's the end.
Oh yeah,
that's right at the end. Oh fuck. That's going to kill me. It's a really good track, though. So, yeah. I mean, the music in this is brilliant from start to end. There's no doubts about that.
And again, like, setting the tone as well, this whole sequence. Totally.
Yeah. I love the fact that everyone seems to hate the name Star-Lord. Obviously, brilliant joke, easy gag, brilliant all the way through. That was an excellent intro. Bounty has been put on Peter Quill's head. Blimey, hammer to the head was madness there. Brutal. Mm-hmm. One of the most brutal scenes we've seen in Marvel, I think.
Hang on, was this? I'm trying to remember.
This is when running was in like the cell and Gamora's with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
When do I ask you that? I think I missed a little bit of this when I must have been writing stuff. But we'll get to why Gamora turns against Ronin because I didn't quite catch that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ronin and Gamora are working together at this point, right?
Yeah.
And they've got someone tied up to like this big thing, and this massive hammer just comes down on their head.
Yeah.
And it cuts away just before.
Yeah.
And then you see the blood trickling down like
that's right.
Yeah, that was gruesome, man.
Because it was the guy that had tried to stop Peter Quill, wasn't it? And had failed, obviously.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Yeah.
Really fucking brutal.
The head. Yeah, and then it's all like the blood running down and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty grim.
I mean, the good thing is that it cuts away, right? So it's not like it's not like when Loki took the man's eye, where you're seeing him going like that, right?
And you hear the machine going,
which surprisingly sounds like something a dentist would use. Really sort of bad for kids. And what was the other one? Yeah, like the. Like an orange man going and then like exploding. Like I would say that's worse. But the idea of someone like just head being caved in by a massive hammer was pretty dark.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Stan Lee cameo.
Yep.
Being slagged off by Rocket.
They slag him off though, don't they? Like just
Yeah. Do you reckon Stanley didn't know about that? And he went to watch it in the cinema and he was like, oh, not only have I been fucked over by Marvel my whole life, you're now taking the piss out of me.
It's like, you're mugging me off in this one.
Right, the scene where Gamora, Groot and Rocket and Quill are fighting over the ball is fantastic, right?
Yep.
So, this is when they first sort of cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
And for once, I feel like I know the characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I knew that they were all going to be together. But seeing them all hate each other at the start was so perfect. And it was such a stupid, Tom and Jerry sequence, wasn't it? Where, 1 minute Quill's like got it off Gamora, then Gamora's got it off Quill, then Groot comes along with a big bag and puts Quill in the bag. All that stuff I thought was really fun.
And then when the bag opens, then he like shoots him, shoots Gamora to
get out. I love all that stuff. It was really, really good. Harry is laughing every time Groot says, I am Groot. This is going to be a long movie. Like he literally was. Every time he went, I am Groot, I'd hear in the corner of the room, I am Groot. Just like, Harry, you can't, it's not funny every time, mate.
It's couple of weeks' time, you'll come home and he'll be wearing a t-shirt that says, I am Groot.
Yeah, and he'll just go, look, Dad, funniest thing. Look at this t-shirt, look.
Look at this.
Funniest thing. I've got a joke for you, Dad. Yeah, go on. I am Groot. Right, can you move out? Are you old enough legally to move out yet? Okay, prison scene, also great. Right, here's where we need to discuss Gamora a little bit, because I'd certainly missed something. So why does Gamora, from this point, work against Ronan? Ronan. What? Ronan Keaton.
Well, you see, the thing is how much do you want me to say? Like, because there is.
Well, what was explained in this film? Because I must have missed it.
So she's Thanos' daughter, who you know of, but haven't seen yet.
Yes, I have seen. I've seen him twice.
Shadow of him, yeah.
I've seen his face twice.
Yeah, okay. So you've seen him, you've seen who he is, but you don't really know what his motivation is yet at this stage. No idea. Apart from he's he's obviously quite powerful or whatever.
He's got a rubber beard. That's all I know about that man.
Yeah, that's true. So her and Nebula are both his daughters, but they're not actually his daughters, as in they're abducted. Like, he took them, obviously. Right. And so Gamora is, even though she's been trained to do all these things and to work for Thanos, she actually doesn't want to. Like, she has no desire to do this at all, and is actually trying to break away from the whole thing.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
So she takes on the job with Ronan to begin that, to try and get away.
Right. But is that explained in this?
Kind of, yes. I don't. That's the thing, because she's an assassin as well. So everyone knows who she is. In that prison, they all know she's horrible assassin or whatever.
Yeah, they all know she works for Ronin.
Yeah,
right.
But they don't know. But then, she never explicitly says though what her story is in this film yet. Really?
Yeah, that's weird. It's weird because it was important, because we'd seen her working with him, and then we saw her saying "Oh, fuck him." Do you know what I mean? It was maybe I think maybe we both missed something there, James.
Mm-hmm. You think
I think there's probably a line or two that we've both missed there.
Maybe. I mean, it's just. I mean, because also, if we hadn't have known, or you hadn't have known that they are this team as the Guardians of the Galaxy, you might have been watching this film expecting the inevitable betrayal at some point.
I suppose. Yeah.
And obviously, it's not going to come because she's not like that. But
okay. But the whole prison scene was great. I mean, it was so it really reminded me of not visually, but it really reminded me of scenes from films I used to watch as a kid, like Labyrinth and stuff like that, where everything's going on. It's all a bit stupid and camp, all the bad guys are real bad, but they're also, you half expect them to break into song and dance on the table and shit.
They're also taking the piss out of that constantly as well, which makes it funnier. It's just loads of this film is kind of tongue in cheek. Really,
totally, and it absolutely nails it. It's like the mechanics in Grease. Do you know what I mean? Where you genuinely could expect them all to break out in song, and it wouldn't have been out of place. You saw people looking over at characters with their knee up on the table, and they're you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And their sort of forearm on their knee, and just hey, what are you doing? It was just, as you say, totally played for, totally works, completely works in the tone, stupid, and I just loved it. I thought it was really, really, really well done. Okay, so this is a note that prison scene is great. Groot sticking up for Quill, Rocket giving it the big un. Because that's right. Because Groot goes and puts his fingers up.
His fingers up that guy's that was nose. Horrible. That was
funny. We were creasing up at that, and then Rocket just going, "Hey, you guys, fuck you!" It's like this little rat dude. It's just really mouthy. And then I put this is based on what I've been saying. Really, this film is so clean so far, and I'm only really saying this now because it continues in this. It's really well shot. The plot is bubbling along perfectly.
Yeah, the pacing is so good.
And the character introductions, there's nothing better. Even the characters that I don't know, like the Blue Man, just
Yondo,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Just, what's his name?
Yondo.
Is he the dad?
Yes.
Essentially Peter Quill's dad.
Yeah, Yondu. Yeah, he's sorry, I said Yondu.
Great character.
Yondu,
really, really fucking good character.
Yeah.
Here comes Drax, is what I've put.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to Drax.
Please don't tell me you don't like Drax.
I thought he needed more work in this film. In fact, actually, it's a running theme. I've got one criticism of this film, but I've written it down at the end, so we'll get to it. Tone of this is great. silly conversation about keeping Gamora alive. The whole finger on the neck thing. He does it. Why would I put my finger on my neck?
Yeah, why would I do that? Yeah.
and then when he turns around to that other guy in the prison, and he goes, "Everyone's heard of that, right?" He goes, "Yeah. No.
No.
It's so stupid. Right, okay, we're in Thanos' gaff now, James.
Yeah.
Snapping someone's neck with a hammer. That was with the forced push of the hammer.
So he's loving that, wasn't he? Like just doing that sort of stuff.
You would though, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe if you could, yeah.
You did force push people with a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be up for that. Thanos' gaff. Snapping someone's neck with a hammer. I've just read that. Thanos then. We've seen him in the post-credit scene, right? We have, haven't we?
Yeah, we saw... Which film was that in? I can't remember now.
That was at the end of the Avengers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it the last scene in Phase 1?
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his deal is. I'm sure I've seen him in memes. Is he in memes?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, he's a major thing. Yeah.
He's a major meme, is he?
Yeah, he's a major part of this whole... like, this whole... what's coming, basically.
People knew him well then going into this, like before these films and everything, I assume.
I mean, from the comic books, yeah. Like, everybody knew what his deal was, but then...
Has he ever been in a film before? Like, before the MCU?
Not as far as I know, no.
Right,
I don't think so. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, then we'll leave Thanos then, because he's barely spoken about in this. It's no big thing. Groot stealing that thing, then battering security. So this is when they're talking about their plan. I mean, it's a classic gag, right? Everyone's sitting down. They're talking about what they're planning to do to break out of prison. And in the background, Groot is just going ahead and doing it anyway, badly. Says everything off, then everything kicks off. Drax kicking ass for the first time was good to see.
You got stealing the leg as well, which was completely pointless.
Yeah. I mean, even better when they do a callback to it, where he goes, and we're going to need that guy's eye.
Yeah.
No,
really. No, I'm going to need it.
I really need it. That was very good. First time seeing Guardians together for the superhero pose. So this is, I can't remember what the shot is, but there's a shot of all of them together, like all standing next to each other. And you're going, yep. And I put, yep, I'm fully locked into this. Right, okay. The rocket revealing that he didn't really mean steal the leg. Right, okay, yep. We've just spoken about that. Absolutely fantastic bit. I've put in quotes here. Nothing will go over my head. I'm too fast. I will catch it. Very funny line that. That made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
He said, don't worry, I'll go over your head.
That metaphor, it just goes over his head. It's like, nothing goes over my head. I'm too fast.
I'm too fast, I will catch it. It's the last bit. It's the last bit that gets it. I'm too fast. You're going, yeah, it's funny. And then we go, I will catch it. It's like that. Because he says that just as the others are starting to talk. So it sort of gets lost in there as well. And it just makes it, it was perfectly timed. Really good line. Peter Quill clearly going back for his Walkman. Got to respect that. Yeah, so this is an important scene, I think, because it shows not only is Peter Quill a fucking idiot, like as he is, but also, there's a reason why he loves that Walkman so much. And there's
the connection.
Yeah, because the connection, but also it shows that he does not trust anyone that he is with, because although he goes off to do his own thing, he lets them in his spaceship, and they're going, well, what are we waiting around for him for? And then they realise that he's stolen it. He's still got the sphere just to make sure. I like that.
When he comes back onto the ship as well, Drax again has some brilliant lines there. Like when he gets onto the ship and he's
let's get to that, because I put that was fucking cool though. All to the Pina Colada song. Him going to get his thing. What does he do to the guy with the Walkman? He does something really funny to him. No, he does something really funny. I can't remember what it is now though.
I thought he just hit him.
No, I'm sure he does something like he does something funny to him. I can't remember, but yeah, like just boosting through the air to the Pina Colada song towards the spaceship. Loved it. I mean, it's so good, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The choice of music is just, it's beyond good. Right. Okay. So then what are the things he says when he returns to the ship?
So because he returns and he's like, you are a hero. You're such like an amazing, what you've done, and you've gone and got the sphere and all that. Like, why have you've done all this stuff? You are somebody I will follow. And then he's like, "What did you get?" And then it's like, turns out it's the Walkman. And he's just like, "You are an imbecile." Like,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, okay. He hasn't opened his present from his mum yet. That's a future cry for me. Then, is what I'd written down at this point. Blue Man talking to the shopkeeper.
Yeah.
We're both cracking up at this scene, and I've written in quotes, "Bula boa boa boa."
What? Why?
Because this is when he's like talking to the blue guy. What's his name?
Yondu.
He's talking to the shopkeeper's talking to Yondu, and Yondu's not interested in anything he's saying. And every time the shopkeeper talks, Yondu goes, like it's not even like la 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 or anything like that. He's just going and me and Harry were wetting ourselves. No, you don't understand. I just thought it was so stupid.
Yeah, it's so very childish, but like works. Yeah.
I love shit like that so much. There's a scene. Have you ever seen Spinal Tap?
No, I've never seen that film.
Fucking hell, Spinal Calls is going to be a good series. No, there's this fantastic scene where the band are in the back of a limo, and the limo driver just goes, "Hey guys, have I ever told you about the time I met such and such?" "Oh no, you haven't actually." "Well, I was in a lift," and just as he starts the anecdote, they press the button for the little screen between the driver and the rest of them to go up. And that's just it. It's stupid shit like that. I love it when people are just needlessly rude. It always makes me laugh. Now we've seen the Collector from the Thor film.
Yep.
Don't like that character, I don't think.
No, he's a horrible character.
He's a bit shit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I think not everyone has to be that wacky.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the level of the shopkeeper.
Yeah, that works. Yeah,
that works. The Collector is kind of like... It's all
that sort of like, I am mysterious. Yeah, what...
It's very Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Star Wars, that thing is... If there's a character in it, it's got to be fucking, crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be so individual that you know what I mean?
It's got to be memorable.
It's got to be memorable. That's right. And that's what that character feels like, whereas the shopkeeper doesn't. It's really scaled back. Lots of characters in this. Like, all the people in the...
Yeah, like the Nova Corps people are all like that.
Nova Corps are all very standard humans. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Collector, to be honest. Is he in it much after this?
No, not really, no.
Is that kind of it? Because it kind of feels like it's it, because his whole fucking thing's blown up.
I think he pops up later, but not like he's not a major person. Yeah.
Okay. Arriving in nowhere. So this is the whole, this is the bit where everyone gets drunk and that. Great. Thought the little girl was going to stamp on Groot's flower. Didn't understand that bit, James.
When was? Oh, you mean when he was giving them out? Like he gave it out to that little girl.
They're walking in.
Yeah.
And a bunch of kids are walking through the streets of nowhere.
Yeah. And
Groot gets on one knee, grows the flower, and then gives it to her, and she just walks off.
Yeah.
What I didn't get was how she had like this really weird expression, like she was almost pissed off that Groot was doing this for her.
I think she just wasn't a very good actress.
I think you might be right, but also because of that, I was so convinced that the idea behind this was going to be that even the kids are fucking like, they got their backs up in this place. You know what I mean? They're not sweet little kids in nowhere. They're like, be part of they're street kids. Yeah. No, not that they're going to be part of that, but they're street kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, I thought the joke was going to be he's going to grow a flower and give it to her, and she was just going to go, "What the fuck is this?"
No, I think she just wasn't very good at acting.
It's really weird, wasn't it? Yeah. Was that weird?
I don't really remember that being like a standout moment. Honestly, I just thought, he's just trying to show. He's nice.
Like, but if that was that, she should have like smiled and maybe hugged him or said "thank you" or something like that. You know what I mean? Or
thank you, Mr. Tree Man.
Tree Man. Like, so instead, she just looked like, was this piece of shit?
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, exactly. And then off he went. Poor old Groot. He deserved better than that, I think. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. I really love how much they all hate each other. Drax and Groot fighting now. So this is after, Drax and Groot fighting. Fucking hell. This is when they go away, right? Mm-hmm. And they get drunk. They start off being best mates, don't they? Rocket and Drax are getting hammered.
Yeah.
And they're playing some sort of, they're gambling or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, that's it. Peter Quill and Gamora nearly kiss.
Yes, yeah. He's like, I'll play you some music and do some dancing and stuff.
That's right. And she holds up the knife to his neck, which I thought was great. And then they turn around and fucking Drax and Groot are fighting.
Yeah.
Rocket getting deep about the experiments he's been through. Mm-hmm. That was all great. Right. Okay. Here's a big moment. Right. This is a huge moment in the whole thing. So there's a big explanation of the Infinity Stones.
Yes, yeah, they give a whole big thing about.
This is the first time we've really sort of like, whoa,
and that's why this. It's funny because the Infinity Stones are really important, like for the all of the rest of the films that are coming now, and it's like, you see, it's funny because some people feel that this film doesn't fit in with like the rest of like the other films that we've seen before, because tonally it kind of maybe doesn't and everything, but it's still critically important, like, because it explains like all of this stuff of like why these things are really important, and what the origin is and everything. And it's
well, it's like, so what did they explain? They explained what, there are 9 Infinity Stones, or was there more than that?
I think it was 9.
And they came from essentially the Big Bang, right?
Yes. So sorry, I'm looking it up.
Or when oh, you really? What does it say?
Hang on.
We might as well. I don't really give a shit.
How many Infinity Stones are there? Here we go. Right. There are 6. Yeah, there's 6 Infinity Stones. Yeah,
there's 6. Right. So, because what was crazy about this is that we saw the Tesseract.
Yes.
In the air, as they're looking at the information, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's funny. Because that means that the human race have been fighting over this one, like, power. Like this. There's this. Not the human race. Where is the? It's on Earth now, isn't it? The Tesseract. At this point.
I think at this point, it's on Earth at this point. Yeah.
But it they thought this was like this big major thing, but actually there's another 5 of them. So we know about. Let's try and work out how many we know about. We know about Tesseract. We know the stupid one from 4.
Right, so these are the ones we know about so far.
No,
right?
Hold on, just let me try and work out.
Go on.
Tesseract, the one from 4 called... what is it called? Tell me what that one's called.
Hang on, but which 4 do you mean?
The one that I've seen. The Dark World. The Dark World.
Okay, yeah, so there's that one which is called the Reality Stone.
No, that's not it. That's not what it was called in that.
Because I know it wasn't called that, but that's the one it is. No, it's called the is it called the Ether or something like that?
Ether, that's it. Yeah. So is that a different one? Or is the Ether called the Reality Stone?
It's the Reality Stone, yeah.
Okay, so what's this? What's the Tesseract? The Tesseract is called Tesseract.
The Tesseract is the Space Stone.
Oh, for fuck's sake, can we just... Why have they got different names now?
I don't know, because they just did this. And then you got the Mind Stone, which is, like Loki's scepter.
Here's what's happened. Happened. When they're bringing this together, they're going, these names are dumb and people ain't going to remember them.
Yeah.
That's what's happened. So they've given them these other names now.
Yeah.
There must be a film where they go, oh, actually, we call it that. Do you?
So far, we've seen, including this film, we've seen 4 of them.
Yeah. So let me try and guess where they're from. So Tesseract, obviously, seen them since like loads of that shit.
Yeah.
The Ether.
Yeah. Which is the reality one.
Yeah. The one in this.
Yeah. Which is
in that bloke's hammer.
This is the Power Stone, it's called. But yeah.
And the one in Loki's staff.
Yeah, which is the Mind Stone. That's why you can do like.
Got that?
That's why you can do like the controlling.
Yeah, but why has he got that?
I don't know. I mean, no. Actually, no, I do remember. No. This, I'm pretty certain this was given to him
later.
No, this was given to him by the people that were, from the first Avengers film.
Right. Didn't he have it in the first 4 film then?
No, he didn't have it in the first 4 film. This turns up in the first Avengers film because he's given this as part of the the process of trying to invade Earth. Yeah.
What, and they didn't get it off him?
Well, maybe later.
Avengers.
Yeah.
See, you should have got it off him, Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Should we move on?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Oh, do you know we're going to get so many tweets about this because I'm sure that's wrong. But anyway, that's as far.
You're the worst. I mean, why are you saying we? I'm new to all this. You're supposed to be the expert.
I'm pretty certain.
Sorry,
right.
Go on.
I'm pretty certain I'm right. If I'm not right, I'll do some pinned tweets. Okay, so it's fine.
You are supposed to be the expert, James. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confident. Yeah.
Okay, you're confident. Okay. Holy shit! Everything is blowing up. I've got a feeling this whole bit has a huge impact on what's coming in the next few films. Well, we've already spoken about that.
Yeah.
Drax getting absolutely thumped by Ronin.
See, that was the other thing, because it's like Ronin's there and it's his fault because he invited him there because he wanted to fight him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was great. That was quite funny. But also, Drax again. Well, got to stop talking about the game. But in the game, he is the almighty Drax, man.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen him really do anything in this.
No, he's not. He gets beaten up a lot, doesn't he?
He does.
Really, in this.
The only time you ever see him kicking ass is in the prison for a little bit. And even Groot, has a good go at him.
Yeah. But it's because he's going up against, Ronan and Groot, and they're two really strong ones, aren't they? So,
yeah. No, but he's supposed to be, the destroyer.
Yeah.
He not so much, does he?
No.
Right, spaceship dogfight scene. All the spaceship stuff is better than most of the Star Wars stuff you made me watch.
It's true, isn't it true? Because that's the thing. I was watching this, and honestly, come on, this film is better than a lot of those films.
Yeah, God,
in a massive way.
Yeah, in a massive way.
In terms of special effects, coherence as to what's going on.
Yeah,
and even space battles and stuff.
Yeah, really. I'd probably put this just below Empire Strikes Back, maybe.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, the original Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and maybe Return of the Jedi had pretty good space combat stuff and everything. But the others are a mess, almost generally, because it's just lasers going off all over the place.
Yeah, also they went through this phase of, let's do cut between the space and ground kind of thing. And it's you do that once and it worked. The other times you tried it didn't. Why we talk about Star Wars, it's really good in this stuff.
Yeah.
In this film. Really enjoying the action. Okay, this is my first hint to where my one criticism is. Really enjoying the action, but feel this film could use a bit more time with the full team together.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, because they do kind of get split up, don't they, really? And you don't see them working together so much.
Working together, I like to see them just round a table together. Every time they're together chatting, it's gold on screen. It's pure brilliance on screen. Really funny, zippy. Everyone's got something to say. It really works. And there's nowhere near enough of it.
But I think it's because they had to give that whole thing of bringing them back together at the end of the film and to have that have more weight. I think that was the reason for that.
That's the thing. They don't like each other. The whole point is that they don't like each other, but here they really don't like each other yet.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully in the next film they explore that a little bit more. I want to see them all on screen at the same time together more than I did in this film, I think.
Pretty certain in the second one that happens a lot more, actually.
Good, yeah. I've heard the second film isn't as good, but I don't really care. If we're seeing them just dicking about a lot, then I'm happy with that. I'll quite enjoy it. Right, okay. Quill saving Gamora. This is what I want more of. What was Quill saving Gamora at this point?
That was where she, her pod got blown up, didn't it? And then he goes out into space. Oh my god, that was so good. Yeah. I put that whole scene was fantastic when Quill goes out. All that. Yeah, because Rocket's all we got to go. These aren't supposed to be here. We're dead. We're dead if we stay here.
Yeah,
she's as good as dead. We should just go. And then he goes back and saves her.
Yeah, and watching him freeze up, watching them both freeze up, and then taking his mask and putting it on her. art so good, so good. And I'm sure, physically it makes no sense because they're out in space. Surely their eyeballs will pop out and stuff, right?
Rocket tried to explain that while he was he was like, her body modifications will keep her alive for longer and all this.
Yeah, but what about his?
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, his eyes started to bleed, which was something.
That was a bit much, wasn't it? Yeah. But I just honestly proper basic hero shit. Absolutely nailed it.
But then also, great. But the follow up as well is good for that. When they're on the ship.
Well, on top of each other.
Yeah, and then he ruins it by just.
What does he say again? I can't remember.
He just keeps on saying it's kind of heroic. What I just did.
Yeah. There was something inside me, just something really just super heroic.
Yeah, just had to be a hero. For that moment.
Yeah. Right, Groot gasping at Rocket, saying "boo hoo hoo." That was so cute. That was the cutest thing I've seen in any of these films.
Yeah, because it was horrible though, wasn't it? It was like your wife and child.
Yeah, your wife and child are dead. Boo hoo hoo, and he just goes like that. I was like, that was so superbly done, brilliant. Ronan using the Infinity Stone. SpaghettiOs is what I've written. Ready? You ready, James?
Go on.
Ready for my next note?
Go on.
Finchy, bloody good rep.
When was that? Was Chris Finch in this?
Yes, Chris Finch is in this film. He's the pilot when Rocket shows up to save Quill.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Can you take screenshots in? Hold on. Wait. What's his name? Right. Okay. Let's Google. We got to get. We'll do this.
He's a bloody good rep.
Finch. Right. If it's not him, then that's going to be quite. Chris Finch. Here he is. He's played by Ralph Ineson. Right, so if I search Ralph Ineson and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
I love it. It's not him.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Here we go. Images. He's here. He is here. Yep, here he is. He's in the ship with blue. Oh, right, James, right. Okay, I'm going to send you a screenshot. He is in the film. I was absolutely right. I cannot believe you missed Chris Finch. Sorry.
I can't believe this.
Anyone that's listening to this that doesn't know what we're talking about, there's a character in the UK version of The Office that I absolutely adore. He's such a dickhead.
He's horrible.
He's just sort of legendary. But he's in this film. And the fact that we're huge Office fans, the fact that you didn't notice this, James. Look at the bottom right of your screen there. The image I've sent you. Zoom in.
How?
Finchy!
He's tiny. This absolutely tiny. How did you notice that?
Because there's other shots of him. That's not the scene that I noticed him in. Mm-hmm. The scene that I noticed him in, he's literally flying the ship. He's on the front of the thing. I don't think he has a line, but I did shout out Finchy. He's a bloody good rep while I was watching it.
I did not notice him.
Yeah, in that at all. I'll find the other images. Anyway, we've spent too long on this. Right, okay. I just love it when this lot argue, is what I put, which I do. It's great. It reminds me of, in the scenes where the Avengers were all arguing around the table. Mm-hmm. It just reminded me of that. Just real snappy, everyone keeping to their character and the tone being just perfect. Everything just little comments here and there, all just coming together. It's really good. Guardians coming together, followed by a montage while they talk about their plan. Space battleship scene is fucking incredible. So this is the one where there's tons of spaceships in the sky.
Yeah, and they form that net thing, don't they? To try and stop them.
So good.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I've only just noticed at this point in the film that Harry hasn't said a single thing during this one.
Really?
Not a single comment.
Is that a good thing though?
Or he was fully locked in, James. Mm-hmm. There's more to come on that.
Okay.
He was fully locked in. Drax killing that woman. Where did the bazooka come from?
He was just holding it, wasn't he? But that also has a great line as well before that, because that's when he's doing that whole Peter Quill, you are my friends, and then he was like, he called her a whore or something, didn't he? And he was like, assassin whore, you are also my friends. And
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and then she turns around and he's like, listen, we've got to stop. And then Nebula turns up and he shoots her.
Okay. Blue Man is pretty killer with that whistle, eh? That thing was wicked.
Yeah.
We were sitting there just going... And then that fucking arrow just goes for about 50 of them, plus the spaceship, and it all just drops on the floor. I was like, he's the coolest. He's great. Do we see more of him?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
I'd assume so. I hope he's not. Don't turn into a villain. I don't want him to be a villain. I want him to be this sort of in between it all. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like...
his whole thing is I think I'd say he's more important in the second film, actually.
Okay, I think the end of this film sort of gives me it gives me hope that they deal with that character correctly, because I don't want him to come back and go, "Oh, you screwed me over" in the next film. Like, I want him to it's just given me that glint of hope that actually that character's going to be exactly where I want him to be. In the next
I wish I could tell you stuff.
Yeah, don't, obviously. Right, big fight scene now. All the action is fantastic, but there's part of me that wishes there was a little less of this and more chat between the team. We've already discussed that. Firing that bomb at Ronin didn't work. Now he's pissed. Drax isn't as badass in this film as I thought he'd be. Again, this is where he was getting beaten up and stuff. Rocket flying into Ronin. That was good. Okay. Now we're getting to the big scene, right? This is one of the scenes that we had to watch again. Everything's fucked. They're all on their last legs. You know what I mean? They're all done.
You're talking. This is after Groot has protected them all.
No, this is it. Groot wraps his vines around everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking joke of a scene this was.
Yeah.
I just real punch in the gut. Like seeing little Rocket crying.
Yeah.
Although he did, he spelt it out a little bit too bluntly. But you're going to die.
Yeah.
So, right. Okay. All right.
To make it clear, so
you will not survive this situation.
Yeah.
And just, protecting them from the falling spaceship or whatever was about to kill them all. Oh, mate. Really, really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Especially, and also it looked good as well, because it's he's part of all the the lattice and everything, and then they're just it's.
And then he says, well, "Why are you doing this?" And he says,
"We are Groot."
Oh, Groot. I was like, "Fuck off, Groot! You are too good."
See, this is what's really interesting, because I really remember when we played the game, how you were really cool on this character, as being he's being annoying. Yeah. But he's just so much better in it. I mean, there's also other bits that we've passed over with this that are just funny with him. Do you remember that bit when he puts he attacks all those people and then starts smashing them around the place?
Oh, that's really
and just
funny.
Does it for ages.
It does it for ages, and then just gives this little smile backwards afterwards.
Yeah, and then just smiles at him.
Yeah, brilliant. I love that bit. Yeah, because not only does he smash them, he puts his vines through their body.
Yes, yeah.
He pierces about 9 people.
Yeah, and then just wrecks them, but for far too long.
It's great. It was good in this. Very good. Oh no, Ronin is still about.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Laughing at the dance-off.
Oh, come on, that was brilliant as well.
Yeah,
especially because there's that whole build-up with the music and everything.
Yeah. And when he turns around to Gamora and says, "Come and dance with me," and she was like, "No." He's like, "I can't take it back."
Yeah.
Just carries on. And then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Distracting
what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm distracting you. Then Rocket blows him up.
Yeah.
Quill grabs the stone. That whole bit was fantastic, emotional and amazing. Where all links arms.
That was the bit that upset me.
Really?
Yes.
More so than the Groot bit?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why?
It's because, so there's the flashback to his mum.
Yes, and
there's the whole sort of hold my hands.
Yeah.
And it's that upset me because I'd remembered that from before. But then also, you see, something that always gets me in films is when there's a group of people working together and sacrificing themselves. Yeah. That's something which really, it always touches me, in a big way, that kind of stuff. And in this, that's the perfect example of that. These people coming together and sharing the pain, and maybe they're going to die. And it really upset me. I saw
You're getting upset talking about it now.
Yeah, he starts. I always does that sort of thing. It
really?
Always does. Yeah.
What about the Toy Story in the furnace?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, no, thanks for sharing that. It wasn't that did it for me. I think it was the Groot bit that got me more. Mm-hmm. But still really emotional, really amazing. Quill blatantly giving Blue Man the fake ball. Mm-hmm. I put Groot's not dead, no way. And
yeah, he's not. Yeah,
this is the problem. Well, he kind of was dead, right? So
yeah, he's dead, but not dead because it's like there was still a bit of him left, and he just regrows.
This Marvel stuff has set precedent for my brain, really, and I'm never going to believe a death, which I think is really going to disappoint. Like in 2 films' time, if Agent Coulson turns up, wouldn't surprise me.
Not going to happen.
No, but it might do, James. That's what I'm saying. Honestly, I genuinely believe that, whenever a death happens now, I'm going to be like, they're not dead.
But that wouldn't have been better if he'd have been gone, though. Like, I don't think it would have been better.
No, but don't play it like he's dead then, I guess. It did kind of work on this. Mm-hmm. It did kind of work on this.
No, it does work because what he was, that version or whatever of him is gone. He's gone. From that, yeah. Because that's the whole point. Group. It's like a baby, as a baby group.
But
they made a lot of money out of that.
I'm just concerned about that shit. Right, anyway, maybe he is. I put maybe he is. Who knows in this film? I said, the present wasn't as emotional as I thought it was going to be, James. It was just another mixtape. Which, come on, that's still quite a big thing. It's nice,
it's a massive thing because he's been listening to that other one for his whole life.
I thought it was going to be like a hologram of her going, "I love you, always, Peter Quill," and then me just blubbing away. I will think of you always. You are in the stars with me now.
So listen to these sick tunes.
Instead, it was there's a bunch of good tunes. But also, we did find out that the reason why he calls himself Star-Lord is because his mum calls him Star-Lord.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And also then you also find out he's not entirely human.
Yeah. So is this the bit where we find that out?
Yes, we find that out because it was really weird because they do kind of like an info dump with this, which don't they? And it was you have to make this clear so that people understand why he could touch the Infinity Stone. Also to set up stuff for later.
Yeah.
And so they
reveals it to him.
It's the president. Of the from the Nova Corps.
Oh, it's the Nova Corps stuff. Of course, you know that you're not. Yeah,
it's we scanned you when you were here, and we found that you were.
That was fucking weird, wasn't it? It was clumsy. It was clumsy. That stuff was done better in the game, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Weird. Right. Okay. Rockets growing a new Groot. Love that. Mm-hmm. Right. Harry burst into tears at the end of this one.
Really?
Yeah. When I asked him what was up, he said, "That was a really good one." James, I'm not kidding. That's what he said.
That's really nice, and he's right as well. This is what's funny because I think now after seeing I've seen this film probably about 4 or 5 times now, and I never get bored of it either. And I think it's probably the strongest of all the films so far. Honestly.
Okay, well, let's finish this off before we go into that. So I kind of worked out that it wasn't really that; it was just a good one, and that's why he was crying. Obviously, the Groot stuff really touched him. He was really because this morning, because we watched this last night. This morning, I said to Harry, "So, what did you think of the film last night?" Then now that you've thought about it a bit, and then he just welled up again.
Oh.
And his eyes started watering again. And I went, "Was it the Groot bit, mate?" And he said, yeah. And I went, "Well, look, we'll show Mummy the bit she missed, and we'll watch the bit at the end, the dancing group, because the moment the dancing group come up, he really started laughing again. The whole dancing when Drax wasn't looking, and then."
You know what it's like? It's like we watched Big Hero 6, and I told you before, with that
film,
with when he sacrificed himself, and Asher was in bits from that. Yeah. It really upset him, when that happened. And
I think it's good though. I cry a lot at films. I never used to. Mm-hmm. I think it was. God, I think I was like mid-20s to late 20s when I first started being comfortable with crying at films, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never used to do it, but something changed in me, it was like a switch.
Oh, and I remember the first time I cried in the cinema. It was awful.
What film?
Well, this is what's embarrassing because it's not even a good film, and it's like historically
Fast and Furious?
No, it's got loads of problems, like historically and everything. But it was The Last Samurai, and it was. Have you ever seen that film?
No, I don't think I have.
It's Tom Cruise, and it's not, again, historically, loads of problems with the whole film and all, like, cultural appropriation, the whole sort of thing. But there's this whole thing at the end where, again, it's the human sacrifice thing of, like, loads of people being gunned down. Jesus. And I was in absolute... it was horrible because it was with my ex-girlfriend. I was like sitting there watching it, and the lights went up in the cinema, and I was like, I need to just sit here for a minute.
Yeah,
like I was like, I can't walk out of the cinema at the moment because I'm in pieces at this, and it was the first time it ever happened.
Yeah, I did that with Up. I've cried at the end of Dunkirk. Mm-hmm. Cried at the end of... I watched Love, the Cirque du Soleil Beatles thing in Vegas. Yeah. Cried at the end of that. Joe said, "Why are you crying?" And I went, "John would have loved it." Like, I knew who John Lennon was. Yeah. I cried, pretty much at every fucking Pixar film.
I don't cry that much at films, but there are certain things which touch me. Like, and as I said, it's often human sacrifice is something which really upsets me. This is what's
weird, though, James. Like, as much as I cry at films, I've never cried at a video game yet.
No, neither have I.
Closest I've got, I think, was one of the Life is Strange games, but I've never teared up at a video game. That's so weird for me.
There's stuff when I played it where it's like oh, that's that is impactful or whatever, but it's not. Yeah. But it's not quite the same.
It's not the same, is it? Yeah. So going back to my point, like I never saw my dad cry at a film ever growing up, and
neither did I.
Like, there's part of me originally, when Harry was aware enough of what was going on, that I'd be embarrassed and be like, oh no, I'd walk out of the room or whatever. But then I just kind of thought, no, he's got to be acceptable, it's dealing with emotions and stuff like that, and that's important.
No, I think you're right, absolutely.
Yeah. So him crying at the end of this was pretty good because we spoke about it, and it was all good.
That's what's really interesting, though, isn't it? Because Asher does the same thing where he just kind of goes quiet and he doesn't want to say it, but then that's what it is. That's
the lips going.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And it's like he's trying to hold it.
So anyway, I said to Harry, "What's your mark out of this for this film?" And he said a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Favourite moment? Favourite moment, James?
Dancing Groot at the end.
Yeah, when Rocket grows Groot back.
Yeah,
that's what you said. Post credits, Collector being liked by Loki.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. The Collector
liked by Loki
being liked by Loki.
I don't remember that.
What does that mean?
Loki wasn't in that film.
Mate, liked. Oh
no! There was what's it called? Okay. There was Howard the Duck.
Right. Okay. I was just typing away. I wasn't really even looking at the screen. I was being licked by the dog thing.
Yeah.
The Russian talking dog.
Yeah.
That we don't know is a Russian. Cosmo. That's it. I thought his name was Loki for some reason. Yeah. That was supposed to be Howard the Duck.
It was Howard the Duck. Yeah.
It wasn't Howard the Duck. It looked nothing like Howard the Duck.
But it was Howard the Duck.
But it wasn't, though, because it looked nothing like Howard the Duck.
Well, in the credits, it said Howard the Duck.
That's what I don't get. Yeah. If you're doing Howard the Duck, make it look like Howard the Duck. It looked absolutely nothing like Howard the Duck.
Well, it was Howard the Duck.
But it wasn't, though, James, because it looked fucking nothing like him.
I don't care. It was.
You know what Howard the Duck looks like, right?
He's shorter, right, than that?
You've seen that film.
I haven't, actually, no.
You haven't?
Howard the Duck. Because this was another George Lucas thing, wasn't it? From what I remember.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go on.
Once all this is over, the final Marvel calls is you watching Howard the Duck and calling me.
All right, okay, yeah, we'll definitely do that because, okay.
It's part of the Marvel universe, mate.
Oh, do you know what we should... Oh, the other... Maybe Mac and me as well.
Maybe we should do that one where we watch it together because...
Yeah.
Like we did with the holiday special in Star Wars.
See, that's the thing. I've only ever heard of Howard the Duck, and I've heard that it's a bit odd and it didn't do very well, but I don't know anything about it.
I watched it really. Constantly when I was a child. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why, but we had it on a lot. How did you watch
that constantly, but not Star Wars? Or
Exactly. Mate, you work out eventually that your upbringing is fucking weird. Okay, I understand now. I understand. Yeah. Howard the Duck in this looks more like Howard the Duck in the comic books of Howard the Duck than the film Howard the Duck. Because
saying Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. If I go Howard the Duck, Marvel. Right, okay, I'm with you now. So seeing him in the Marvel film is right. Okay, right, fine. That makes sense. Right. What a fantastic film, though. Action-packed, funny, great characters. Wish there was more chat of that in this, though. Yeah. I would say it goes to the top of my list. It's probably my favourite one that I've seen so far.
Yeah, that's the thing. From watching it back again, I thought it was fantastic from start to finish, and I didn't have really any problems with it at all. Yeah. It's just, it's just great, and it's funny because next we've got Avengers: Age of Ultron, so we've got that going on,
right?
And then Ant-Man, and then there's a couple more until the next Guardians film. And,
that's right. There's not many, is there?
No, it's there's only. Yeah, there's only 2 Guardians of the Galaxy films, but there's another one coming, actually, in the future. That's going to be coming next year.
Yeah, look, I'm up for that. I'm up for all that.
But then the next two are quite good, I think. I mean, I think Age of Ultron I don't think it's probably as good as the first Avengers film, honestly, but it's still a good film. But Ant-Man I really like. I think it's a great
Age of Ultron. You keep alluding to a film that changes everything.
Yeah, which one was that? That's what. No, because what am I thinking here? That may be Age of Ultron, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that may be Age of Ultron.
I'm going to expect an earth-shattering film next, then, James.
There's quite a lot of things happen in this film. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will watch that next week.
Yeah.
And I will call you shortly after.
Excellent.
Excellent. See you later, man.
See ya. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.